Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today we're going to review Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Gentle Fluidity, the silver edition. There's also the gold edition or the gold version, but it is the silver edition's turn today. So I have a sample of it that, by the way, I'm not sponsored. I did not, get the sample from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I did get it from my sales associate from the perfume counter where I purchase stuff. So when I buy stuff, they kind of throw in a ton of samples. I love samples. So there you go. That's how I got one of these whilst purchasing something else. And this is our little samplelet, 2 ml, eau de parfum. It's made in France. And the silver designation is right there. Also, the batch code is F10. It's kind of etched right there. Really hard to see because it's not painted. It's just kind of stamped in there or etched in there. So I have already sprayed it on here and here. So here we have a little bit of a dry down. And then we're going to add a little bit of... So here and here we got the dry down already. I sprayed it over an hour ago. And then we're going to add a little bit of freshness here and here. So we're going to... There you go. A very fascinating fragrance. I, thought to myself, At first, it gives me something we have smelled a lot elsewhere, and it's a little bit annoying because it gives me that kind of niche but mass-released smell that we kind of smelled on a lot of other people on the streets. It's not as popular as Baccarat Rouge, so it's not that you're going to be smelling this one a ton on the streets, or you're going to be smelling Baccarat Rouge and all of Baccarat Rouge's dupes and imitations. Oh my God, it just keeps getting worse and worse. But here's what Maison Francis Kurkdjian has to say about Gentle Fluidity, the unisex perfume. But before we get to the details, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week, so come join the fun. Come join the chats. Hello to my co-chatters. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So the first text is in French, and then it's translated in English, and we're going to read the English text. Blur gender boundaries. That's how it begins. Our story begins with blurring gender boundaries. Very fascinating. This one's for you, J.K. Rowling. Maybe you get to learn something. Loser. Rookie. Allegedly. Blur gender boundaries and be unconventionally free with this woody amber eau de parfum. The soft, spicy heat of nutmeg from Indonesia and the vibrant aromatic notes of juniper berries from Macedonia unfold around the luminous freshness of a musky, woody core. Well, honey, the Balkans are playing a role in this perfume. Mahor in the chat says silver is one of the best sellers from the brand. Now, the price category, very interesting. So we have three currently as I'm filming this video in 2024. Interesting to note the date I'm filming because you might be watching this review maybe a couple of years from now. And in case you do, prices will be different. So at least you have some sort of guide so that you know. Back in 2024, August of 2024, the Gentle Fluidity Silver Edition would set you back for 2.4 fluid ounces, $245. So that's kind of round about 100 ml. Then the 1.2 fluid ounces, so 1 fluid ounce is 30 ml. 1.2 fluid ounces is around about 50 ml. That's no less. It's like 40 ml. 40 ml is going to set you back $155. And then you could also purchase the 6.2 liquid ounce bottle, which is the equivalent of 200 milliliter. For 200 milliliters, you're going to shell out $475 plus tax. So we are a little bit under Chanel Les Exclusives prices here, but just by a smidge. Just by a smidge. So the biggest bottle of Gentle Fluidity, 200 ml, online on the Maison Francis Kurkdjian website is basically the equivalent size of a Chanel Les Exclusives 200 ml bottle. So this is the size of a 200 ml. Here we have a specimen of Comet by Chanel, which in 2024 will set you back $500 plus tax. And Kurkdjian's version is $475 plus tax. So we're around about in the same ballpark. There's a reason why I lifted Comet in this review, and we're going to get to it a little bit later, so stick around. Thumb up the video if you're enjoying it, and subscribe. So, now, it's giving me Francis Kurkdjian from the Gaultier era, but a little bit more niche, it's giving me less mass-produced perfume, like Le Mal, La Fleur du Mal, Cocorico, Fragile, and so on. This one it's amped up in a way. It does smell like it costs more than your standard from the past Kurkdjian perfumes for Gaultier. Okay? So there's that. But at the same time, it's kind of echoing those perfumes that are maybe Francis did this on purpose. Francis, by the way, is an openly gay man, so I'm not outing anybody. He's openly and proudly gay, thankfully so. So he, I thought maybe he's throwing a little bit of shade at a lot of those perfumes by perfume houses that are made for the man, mask for the bros, yo, panty droppers, yo. All of those idiots that come to my channel and call me the bearded lady, because they did not learn anything about history of mankind, nor do they know how men actually change the way that they dress and appear throughout centuries and different cultures. It's all about the level of education you have. If you got none, then you're going to say stupid stuff like the bearded lady, okay? If you got a smidge of education in you, thank your mother and father for it, then you will understand what's happening. Otherwise, you're just that dumb bimbo that doesn't know what else to say, and you feel personally offended by my mere existence. Boy, am I glad to live rent-free in your head, though. Back to the perfume. So I do believe that in many ways, Francis Kurkdjian delivered a shady commentary on Aventus and Co. Yes, the Aventus by Creed for men, for the man only, okay? This, and in fact, if you check out online reviews of people, just regular users, ya regular bro, a perfume bro, spraying on this perfume, saying, oh, it reminds me of Aventus, but it's a little bit cheaper, so yay. Oh, come on, bros, let's all buy it and wear it. But Francis delivers the plot twist here and calls it very proactively gender fluid, calls it very proactively unisex. So there is no reassuring, those fragile masculinity little bros. There's no reassuring them that this perfume is just for them. Sorry, bros. There's no reassuring you of that because Francis delivered a fragrance for everyone and made it very clear that this one is gender fluid. Isn't that fascinating? Oh, I love it. All these people wearing this perfume now thinking to themselves they did something and then they realize, they've been done had. The inspiration. Here we go. Same notes, two identities. Here, Kurkdjian is talking about the gold and the silver edition, imagined by the designer, Francis Kurkdjian. The Gentle Fluidity duo sketches two distinct olfactive silhouettes, two perfumes using juniper berries, nutmeg, coriander, musks, amber, amber wood, and vanilla to express their full potential, crafting the materials to express their full potential. Really? Are we repeating full potential twice? I guess we are. Okay. Somebody needs to rewrite this text, huh? Crafting the because look, literally says nutmeg, coriander, musks, amber, wood, and vanilla to express their full potential. Full stop. Crafting the materials to express their full potential. Cha. Okay. Francis Kurkdjian takes on the challenge of composing two singular eau de parfum with the same ingredients. In fact, what we're testing today is an eau de parfum. In gentle fluidity silver, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, nutmeg and amber woods dominate to release a vibrant and comfortable trail. The essence of juniper berries reveals an ultra-fresh and aromatic high note, like a gin fizz balanced with dry spicy notes and balmy nutmeg notes. Alternatively, soft and enveloping, powerful and dry facets of amber wood appear in the background. The aromatic woody gentle fluidity silver eau de parfum is benevolent and free, deeply moving. I'm taking this directly from the MFK website. So this is directly taken from Francis Kurkdjian's website. So just to be very clear, like, where am I reading this from? The ingredients, it's interesting. So when I opened up the ingredients list here, it has the alcohol, parfum, aqua, water, linalool, limonene, butyl, methoxy, dibenzole, methane, alpha-isomethyl-ionone, citronellol, geraniol, eugenol, citral, coumarin. So anyway, they say, warning, the ingredients that enter in the composition of MFK products are regularly updated. Before using an MFK product, please read the ingredient list on its packaging to ensure that the ingredients are suitable for your personal use. And then they also say, precaution for use. This product contains natural extracts. The presence of suspended particles or color variations do not alter its quality in any way. Protect from direct light and sources of heat. I love me a little something floating inside of my bottle, if you know what I mean. Is there anything floating in this little vial? Yeah, little tiny particles. Looks like dust or something, you know. So it's very fascinating to me. It does, maybe because it's silver, but it does smell metallic, but also powdery and ambery. So it's cold, but at the same time warm. It is fluid in a way. It's soft and gentle, but it has longevity. The dry down is clean, because here I have the dry down. It's been over an hour now. It's clean and it does not smell messy or cheap. The ingredients don't smell too chemical. There is something natural in here, which is very interesting because the natural aspect of it combines quite well with the technical, mechanical, metallic aspect or facet of this perfume. And they blend in so nicely. They are fluid. Gentle fluidity, oh my God, it's like a perfect name for this. And there's a makeup-y, powdery accord that keeps kind of oozing out there from time to time. Now, here's the educational part that I really, really was looking forward to. The MFK website also delivers an explanation for each ingredient. Almost no perfume house does this, okay? And I find it very fascinating. I'm very thankful for Francis for having done that, because it kind of also educates us on the single ingredients or facets or accords inside of this fragrance. So, for example, this one has nutmeg. Now, for nutmeg, Francis tells us the nutmeg tree can reach 15 meters in height. When ripe, the orangey yellow fruits of the Myristica fragrans implode and release an ovoid nut covered with small irregular hairs. A hairy nut. Wow, I've seen those before. Called mace. And I've maced a few. But anyway, we'll go. So we digress. Once this membrane is removed, dried and ground, the nuts are steam distilled and give off a spicy dry note like grated wood, reminiscent of the smell of an old book. A complex top to base note, prized among others for its role in the composition of woody and ambery fragrances for men and women. Very, very fascinating to read about the nutmeg, and especially to hear about Francis's kind of predilection for it in terms of looking for that ancient book smell accord inside a nutmeg. That's where the poetry kicks in. That's where the perfumer poetry kicks in. So you're not just saying, oh, this is just a nutmeg in this perfume. Yeah, I wanted the nutmeg in order to deliver papers in ancient books smell. That's where the alchemy begins. We're not transforming it just into gold, but poetry gold, for sure. Beautiful. The next accord is vanilla. For vanilla, Francis on his website tells us, few people know this. But vanilla bean extract naturally has woody, leathery, almost animal accents. And we know this, you guys. If you have been following me for some time now, you might remember my review of one of the best vanillas out there, in my opinion, as of modern day vanillas, Shalimar, Guerlain's Shalimar Millésime d'Iris, the Iris Millésime. The vanilla, and go check out my review of, unfortunately, a limited edition released last year of Shalimar Millésime d'Iris, the vanilla and the Guerlinade, especially the vanilla, dry down in that particular flanker. In that review of that flanker, I very clearly state exactly what Francis says here. The leathery animalic accents and facets of the vanilla in Shalimar Millésime d'Iris, you really get to experience leathery, burnt woods and animalic woods accord, and that comes from the vanilla. And that's a really, the tincture of that vanilla that Guerlain did delivers very clearly that leathery and animalic and also burnt woods accord. Majestic. Majestic. To smooth this dark side, Francis Kurkdjian has recreated his own vanilla accord. A more airy, gourmand, and slightly spicy interpretation, the round enveloping aspect comes mainly from vanillin, the main olfactory compound of vanilla, also used in food flavors for its particularly soft and sweet side. This accord brings comfort and silage or silage. Now, it's almost like a baby vanilla. It is gentle, a gentle fluidity. Again, the word gentle, or the adjective in this case, really is appropriate for this perfume. There is a gentleness and a delicate facet to this perfume, which is so beautiful, whilst at the same time having that somewhat aggressive opening that is reminiscent of certain masculine fragrances that are playing in the ballpark of, your typical Sauvage and Aventus. So you have that metallic-y vibe in the opening, but then as that dissipates, we are left with softness of a gentle vanilla. Really, really beautiful. The next element in gentle fluidity silver is are juniper berries. Now, one of the most beloved perfumes of mine that I own in my collection, not of mine, I did not make it myself. I bought it myself though. One of the best juniper perfumes out there for me personally is Voyage d'Hermès. Voyage d'Hermès is all about the juniper to the point of it smelling like gin. Okay, you use juniper berries to create the gin. So anyway, juniper berries. English gin, there you go, says Francis, is emblematic of the taste of juniper berries, With its particular and striking aromatic flavor, in perfumery, the fruits of Juniperus communis lend this same sensation of striking freshness. This shrub is present in Northern Europe and the Balkans. When ripe, the small blackish berries are dried before being steam distilled. The resulting oil offers a fresh, aromatic, spicy, but also woody and slightly resinous top note. It can be found in colognes, men's fragrances, and some women's perfumes. Francis Kurkdjian uses it to amplify certain floral notes, such as the rose. I personally love the fact that Francis doesn't gatekeep things. He shares his knowledge. Other perfumers just don't. And I really, really, really respect him for this, and I appreciate the fact that he's so giving and gentle in his own ways. You know, he also, and I've said this in other reviews of his perfumes, I am a fan of his. I love him to bits, and he also answers to DMs. You know, he tries to at least as much as he can to say thank you if somebody writes him a nice note or something. He's really, really sweet. So the fact that he's also sharing all this knowledge is very, very appreciated. But since it's kind of like at the bottom, you got to scroll at the bottom of the product page, a lot of people don't really read into all of these details. So a lot of this information gets kind of overlooked. So this is why I'm thinking in my review, I really want to shed light on his particular texts describing these materials, but also accords, because I think it's important. It kind of lets us understand even more what he wanted to achieve with a certain perfume. In particular, in this case, Gentle Fluidity Silver. The next accord are amber woods. While there is a multitude of amber woods, their common denominator is the strength they bring to a fragrance. The range of possible tonalities is as vast as with musks. Some of them replace the animal effects once used, namely ambergris, a sperm whale, etc. Each major supplier of raw materials offers its own amber wood developed by synthesis. They are called ambroxan, ambrostenide, cetalox, or cashmeran. Francis Kurkdjian's amber wood accord combines these synthetic notes with natural ingredients such as patchouli, sandalwood, cedar, and vetiver. It contains multiple facets: powerful, dry, enveloping, and rising. Its ingredients amplify the scents, silage, and hold. Very interesting that when we are talking about amber woods, in the classification and list of accords and smell facets of this particular accord, we also go into the cashmeran. So, and the synthetics, right, of amber woods can be ambroxan, ambrostenide, cetalox, and cashmeran. Now, interesting, I've just been working on, experimenting with Alien Hypersense, the 2024 released Alien, and this one has a ton of cashmeran. So we're going to get to this one as well, but it's interesting how Francis says in this particular case, he veers away from cashmeran because what he's trying to deliver is, he says, Francis's amber wood accord combines these synthetic notes with natural ingredients such as patchouli, sandalwood, cedar, and vetiver. In fact, when we first smell Gentle Fluidity Silver, we get that synthetic metallic accord, which is a synthetic amber wood, which would be the cashmeran. Okay. But he is so clever at toning it down to not let it overtake the fragrance fully, because cashmeran can be quite synthetic and metallic-y, plasticky smelling. Looking at ya, Hypersense. This is an overdose of cashmeran, but really, So it's a particular one. You gotta love your synthetics if you want to love Hypersense. Interesting, Dominique Ropion took back Alien to do this. He was the original designer of the original Alien perfumer, and then all the flankers in between. He did some not, but he's fully back for the 2024 edition. But very Cashmeran heavy to the point where, nah, I'm not so sure it was a good choice. But we digress. What Kurkdjian Francis manages to do with gentle fluidity is it's delicate. It's never overpowering. It doesn't screech. It doesn't smell of mass-produced synthetic product. It's actually quite the contrary. It smells like something that was very well balanced, very well thought through, and produced to create a sense of well-being for the person wearing it. And it makes me feel really, really nice. It really does. It's constantly present. I constantly smell it on me, but it doesn't overbear me, it doesn't overpower me in any way. And also, just to note that this perfume was released in 2019. So 5 years before Alien Hypersense, just for maybe to put things into perspective and into more context. Now, the next accord are coriander seeds. Now, coriander is also used in cuisine. You can also cook with coriander seeds. But let's read about coriander seeds in perfumery. So Francis tells us it is not uncommon to come across this small aromatic herb in our gardens. Coriandrum sativum was already appreciated in ancient times. In perfumery, its leaves give a very particular oil with strong green metallic notes. The steam-distilled seeds are commonly used. The resulting oil is fresh, zesty, slightly peppery, and very floral, close to freesia the flower. Francis Kurkdjian has even identified solar overtones due to the presence of linalool. And again, you see how we have the transformation, the perfumer giving us hints as to what he's aiming towards, and he's educating us here about his intentions and his artistry. He skips from technicality to poetry. He describes the technical aspect of the coriander seed, and then he flips it over at the end by saying, Francis has identified solar overtones due to the presence of linalool. Here he's giving us a glimpse into the poetry. A little tiny berry, little tiny coriander seed we can from that little point we start envisioning and seeing a bigger picture of solar, did he say overtones? Overtones. Now we have sun, tones, tonality, layers, texture, all of this that came from a tiny seed. That's what I mean when I talk about reviewing a fragrance and its poetry. And Francis is not gatekeeping anything. The last accord are musks. And again, on Francis's website, Francis tells us about musks. He says, initially extracted from Tibetan musk deers, natural musk has been banned in perfumery since 1973. Obviously, to protect the animals as well. Synthetic molecules designed to replace it appeared at the end of the 19th century. So today, there is a wide selection of musky notes with an olfactory palette ranging from fruity to woody to animal facets. Musks are very persistent and relatively non-volatile base notes. They have been extensively used in detergents and fabric softeners, and are commonly referred to as white musks because they evoke the scent of soft, fluffy, clean linen. And they conjure up a feeling of tenderness and comfort suitable for all kinds of fragrances. With their inimitable mellowness, highly appreciated by the general public, today, musky notes are present in the vast majority of women's and men's perfumes. Fascinating, isn't it? The musks. And this is where the future of perfumery is going to. And it's been going there since a while now. We've seen it with Chanel. Olivier Polge delivers a constant research in the field of modern day synthetic musks, bringing Chanel into the future. 1957. The Les Exclusives 1950, pardon me, the 1957 Les Exclusives fragrance has 5 to 8 different musks going for it, and it's all about the musk. So much so that we also have musks in Boy, ton of them, even though it's a Fougère fragrance. Fougère also uses musks. And in the current version, Comate, we have also a very typical musk accord, but also the heliotrope. There's also vanilla in here, an irisy orris root accord, which by mere accident, after I take a shower, I usually spritz 3 times this on my chest just to have that baby powder vibe. This perfume is a masterpiece and a miracle, seriously. I've stocked up on it. Yes, I know, it's crazy, but the love of my life, seriously, Comate just keeps growing and growing on me. So by accident, right, I forgot that I was going to review Gentle Fluidity. So I sprayed it on my chest. Doesn't matter. I didn't spray it on my arms. But when I sprayed Gentle Fluidity, they kind of mixed a little in the air, because as Comate is kind of coming up here from my chest area, as my chest is warming up, I get wafts of it. And from this part, I have Gentle Fluidity. When they combined, those musks, the musks from Gentle Fluidity and Comate, boy oh boy, are they having a love affair. OMG. They just clicked and bonded and are sublime. In fact, yeah, no, it's something else, you guys. It's so gorgeous. Oh my God, these two together, it gives me 70s perfumery, but I want to bite it. It's so juicy. My mouth waters. It's so good. These two together are like a distant memory of Mugler's aura, but then like clean heliotrope, but baby powder vanilla. And then you have that metallic opening, right? That cashmeran vibe of Gentle Fluidity, which amps it all up and gives it that smidge of strictness. It's not just all soft and powdery and delicate. There's a whiplash in there as well, you know? So it keeps you guessing. Oh my gosh. So by mere accident, I combined the two, and it really works. So if you do have in your collection Gentle Fluidity, the silver edition, and if you do have Comate, in my humble opinion, these two are just perfect love affair. Perfect love affair. And also, this made me realize how good the ingredients are in Francis's perfumes. I mean, this smells really good. It might not be, to be very clear, when I smell it, when I say it smells really good, I'm not necessarily saying that it smells good to everybody's nose. By smelling good, I mean the ingredients here are very good quality, which is quite rare to find, in my humble opinion, in niche brands, niche perfume brands. A lot of them, they're so screechy, and you realize it in the dry down of these perfumes. When they start drying down, oh my God, synthetic mess. Blurry, screechy synthetic mess, most of them. And we're talking perfumes that sometimes cost you $700 a bottle or more. Like, no. This, I smell the quality. And the funny thing is, it tends to be, when you first spray it, when I first spray it, it smells like, oh, it's going to go in that masculine metallic accord, and you're just like, ugh. But then it kind of shifts and becomes this fluid thing. And, oh, it takes you places in a very nice way. It's not arrogant. It's not trying to be something it's not, but it delivers good quality ingredients, And so even in its dry down, it it soothes you. It makes you happy to sniff yourself in the dry down of this perfume and not just enjoying it rather in the opening notes, like we could say is the case with most really expensive niche perfumes, at least in my opinion. So we are here now, right? Thinking, this thing kind of works. It's giving me a little bit of sauvage as well, in the best of ways, though. And Mahora says, and Maison Kurkdjian is not as expensive as other niche brands. Yeah, period. That's exactly my point. Because also he offers you smaller sizes as well, right? Because look, if you buy your 40 mil, I mean, yeah, okay, it's $155. It's still expensive. But, and I'm sure he also has like little samples and stuff that you can buy, like a set of like 10 mils or something. I just didn't see it on the website today, but maybe it's available in other instances or in some other times of the year, maybe around the holiday season. Probably they all come out with those special little tryout sets where you get like a bunch of different ones to test out. So, your 1.2 fluid ounces is going to set you back $155. Is it expensive? Yeah, but I think the price is still, compared to other niche brands, the price is fair, in my opinion. $245 for 2.4 fluid ounces. So that's like, what is that? Like 100 mil? Oh, 70 mil? Oh, Mahor says, okay, he does 35 mil, 70 mil. So I only have fluid ounces here. Okay, Mahor is translating into milliliters. So he does 35 mil, 70 mil, and 200 mil. Also, he does 3 times 11 mil travel size. Okay, so for the 35 mil, he wants $155. Okay. And for the 70 mil, he wants $245. And then for the 200 mil, he wants $475. So to me, this is maybe a 70 mil bottle, not 200 mil. This is not one I want to bathe in. Like, I want to bathe in, look how much I've been using this. I mean, this one just came out a couple of months ago. I already used up half a bottle. I love it to bits. So this is not the type of perfume I want to bathe in. This is an accent perfume. This is a perfume that I would spritz on top of something else, or maybe even on its own from time to time, but just as an accent. I wouldn't bathe in this one, which is not to say that I don't love it. I really, really am enjoying this quite a bit, but I don't feel the need with this particular perfume to bathe in it. This is a special one that gives me, it's a tapas. You know what I mean in Spanish? This is more of a tapas perfume that you nibble on. It's delicious when you nibble on it, You don't gorge on it. You don't indulge in it too much. It's a special one when you just give an accentiment from time to time. So that's why I would say the 70 ml bottle it's worthy of a 70 ml bottle purchase for me. So the $245. Or even the 35 ml, if you want to use it really as a special little spice. And it's a little tiny 35 ml container bottle, and you just use it to spice up something from time to time. Why not? At the end of the day, the spices that we purchase for cooking are also in tinier bottles, right? So it makes kind of sense to me. Makes kind of sense to me. And, now when I kind of went online to check out what other people are saying about it, a lot of people are complaining about the longevity. It doesn't last that long. And again, we're back to this concept of people kind of thinking a perfume that costs a lot of money is only worth the money if it lasts you, 10 days on your skin. There's this kind of concept of like the price of the perfume. A lot of consumers believe that the price of the perfume has to be directly proportionate to the longevity. I cannot disagree more. Certain perfumes are simply made to be delicate gentle, and not beasts. That doesn't mean that they did not utilize wonderful ingredients, and that does not mean that a lot of thought did not go into making them and conceiving them. They are still worth the money, in my opinion. Certain perfumes, the beauty of them is the short-lived nature of them. Other perfumes, the beauty of them is the long-lived nature of them. I would not compare the two. I would not say, well, look at this perfume, like, I don't know, some perfume that's like a beast. Amen by Mugler. Oh, that one lasts me 2 days on my skin. So that one's worth the money because it lasts. So yeah, sometimes I don't think that's true. Some people don't want to have a beast of a perfume on. Some people are annoyed by it. Some people think, well, that's not worth the money. I just wasted all my money. I'm never going to wear that perfume because it simply suffocates me every time I put it on. So we have to find a balance for ourselves and be honest to yourself. Like, do you want to buy a perfume that lasts a long time? And then once you do buy said perfume, are you really going to wear it? Or is it going to annoy you after a certain time? You have to choose that perfume that you will actually enjoy wearing and that you will enjoy wearing a lot. You might be the type of person that really enjoys the heavy hitters, but you might be the person that thinks, well, it's worth it more to spend more money on the heavy hitter. But then you might be that person that doesn't end up wearing the heavy hitter that often because it's too heavy. So you have to be really honest with yourself and buy the perfume that really makes you feel good. Don't think too much about the longevity. That's just my opinion. Think about how it makes you feel when you spray it on and when you're wearing it and as it dries down, whether or not it lasts you an hour or 2 or 10 or 20 minutes, irrelevant. It's all about the feelings that that perfume gives you and how it makes you feel. And does it call your name? Does it make you want to wear it more often? Those are the perfumes that are worth buying, independently from how long they last on your skin. And on top of that, we have to add the aspect of becoming anosmic to certain perfumes if we overuse them. But I have a video dedicated to the anosmia of perfumery and becoming kind of, smell deaf to perfumes, anosmic to perfumes. I made a whole video about that, so you can go check that out as well on my channel. Oh, this one is so nice. And it also kind of brings me back in time, early 2000s. Somehow, I know this one was made in 2019, but when I smell it, I'm kind of feeling early 2000s. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. I might be getting a bottle. Just saying. Very, very, very pleasant experience discovering this one. And beautiful dry down. Very clean ingredients. Nothing blurry, fuzzy, screechy. It's a simple one, but it makes you happy. And kind of in these difficult times we're living in, like, it's the best you can get, really. It's just like having a nice emotional moment with yourself, soothing, healing moment with yourself. I think healing is our word du jour. We need to heal, people. We need to heal on so many levels. And if you find the right perfume that helps you on your journey towards healing, why not go for it? Gentle Fluidity Silva by Maison Kurkdjian. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Let me know if you have a bottle or if you have the gold one instead. If you wish to purchase one or not, let me know your thoughts about it down below. Thumb up the video if you've enjoyed it, and until next time, never forget to never give up on fragrant love. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.